Welcome to Garden for the Environment. My name's Chris Krupa and you are watching The Urban Gardener.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. I want to thank you all so much for joining with me here today. If you haven't already, please get down below there, hit that subscribe button, follow along with more garden adventures as we continue growing here on The Urban Gardener. In fact, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of our upcoming episodes. Like this one today, we're in San Francisco, California, and we're visiting with Garden for the Environment. A really great community gardening project here in the San Francisco Bay Area, teaching local community members and volunteers all aspects of gardening, from beekeeping to composting. We are in the heart of San Francisco near Golden Gate Park to bring you a really cool feature, this time on The Urban Gardener. I've been wanting to come down here for a while now and visit this great teaching garden here in San Francisco. And like the sign says, come on in. It's welcome for all of the public to come through and check out this really great garden where they teach the community all about urban gardening. But today, we've got a couple of the volunteers to give us a tour and to talk about this really great urban gardening project.
This is the south entrance of the garden. Garden for the Environment has been here on the corner in the Inner Sunset neighborhood for about 31 years. It started here. We're on public utilities property. That's the San Francisco Water Company. And even way back then there was a drought going on. So there was a big push to remove, typical San Francisco yard is very small. So a big push to replace your tiny water hungry lawn with a beautiful, diverse, water-wise garden. So these plants showcased here are water-wise plants, meaning they use less water, way less water than a lawn. We are San Francisco's teaching garden. Staff is not always here, so we try to inspire and teach, and even when we're not here, by signage and just showcasing what could grow here. San Francisco has a pretty unique growing climate, but we're lucky that we could grow year-round. And for many city folks, obviously they don't have this much space, so we try to inspire them by having a small container garden to show that even if you live in an apartment building, even if you just have a windowsill available, you could grow some food. We've got strawberries, blueberries, some oregano, all kinds of good stuff. This is our south classroom. If you were to come to one of our many workshops on a Saturday morning, you might be seated here listening to a guest speaker. We have classes on so many topics, from growing your own food to water-wise gardening, composting, soil health, fruit tree pruning, beekeeping. I think we even did urban chickens one time. We don't have them here, but the instructor brought their own in. As we're heading north into the garden, we've reached our what we refer to as the urban farm. We're not a traditional urban a community garden where folks rent a plot. These are all for demonstrational purposes. What we grow, we donate to various shelters. We do a harvest box every once a week, so we get to donate quite a bit of food. We use raised beds here in the urban environment because Soil's not always the cleanest in an urban environment. With the raised beds, they're lined by gopher wire and amended with our finished compost pretty often, so it's a controlled environment. Some of them even have these really nifty rodent cages to keep rats and raccoons and birds from eating our crops. One of my favorite beds here we refer to as the bunk bed. It's a little taller, easier to work with, but what's really cool about this is that it actually reuses the water. It's like a 2-for-1 with the watering system. All of our beds do have a automatic drip irrigation, and waters the shade-loving plants underneath as well. Got kind of a mixed bed going on there. This is traditionally our herbs. So we do have a small rain catchment system. It's by no means watering our entire garden. It's more to inspire, to show what's possible. But that being said, it is amazing how much water, how quickly these three barrels, this one's not really connected, how quickly these 3 barrels fill up from this small greenhouse. Even here we are at the end of August, and we still have a little bit of water in the barrels. So again, we're not watering our entire garden on this. It's to, show you what's possible, inspire you to go bigger on your own property. We do have a small greenhouse here. Slash storage, slash, office. We don't have electricity here. Luckily we have running water, but we're a small urban organization doing what we can with what we have. So as an organic garden or farm, our compost is basically the heart, our foundation of everything we grow here. Healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy people. Basically every plant we prune, give a haircut to, we turn that pile, we run it through this system, and it comes out as this wonderful decomposed organic material, nutrient-rich soil amendment that we add to all of our raised beds when we plant a new crop. It helps retain moisture and again delivers nutrients to our plants. Mother Nature would do it on her own, but because it's so valuable to us, because we love it so much, we have volunteers chop the stuff, and we actually add our magic ingredient of pigeon manure that we're lucky to have. Yes, we are lucky to have pigeon manure from an awesome neighbor that gives it to us. He raises racing pigeons. So they're not wild city pigeons, they are well-fed, organic-fed pigeons. He's a great guy. He appeared one morning, asked if we wanted it. We said yes, please, and ever since this thing is always full. We rarely see him. We refer to him lovingly as the pigeon poop fairy. So every Saturday we actually offer a free composting class taught by our Get Up grads. Which one is here actually? Hello. So Get Up is our 3-month flagship program, garden and educator teacher workshop, and part of the graduation requirements is to teach our free first Saturday of the month composting class. So here we have what we refer to as our victory garden. It's kind of based on, if you're lucky enough to have a backyard in San Francisco, it's about this size. So we made 2, one with irrigation and edible crops. We even have an espaliered apple tree here with 6 different varieties of apples on one tree. And this side over here, this is an example of a yard with no irrigation, super water saving, and Bay Area California natives growing here. This year, our cut flower bed, we're having some mixed success with vegetables here for whatever reason. I think a raccoon was literally digging up almost everything we planted, so we went with flowers, and the beneficial insects are loving it. So along our border here, we do have some perennial food crops. These I like to refer to our visiting students as our magic beans, our scarlet runner beans. They grow all summer and then they die back. We cut them, and then every spring they pop up like magic. These are asparagus plants. A lot of folks, beginner gardeners, don't know what asparagus looks like, including myself when I started here. But in the spring, the spears shoot up. You harvest them one by one, and then the rest of the year you're left with this bushy asparagus plant that will form seeds and drop. Here we are in our remote north classroom. From here you can see a beautiful border, and up in our hill we have our urban orchard. We have, I'm told, 50 different trees from several varieties of apples, plums, apriums, pears. The list goes on, but we just tried some pears today and they were super good.
So all right, we just got a really great tour from Chris here at Garden for the Environment in San Francisco. We've got Trina with us here to kind of talk a little bit about this organization and the project here and what they've got growing on. Trina, do you know a little bit about the history of Garden for the Environment?
Yeah, so Garden for the Environment began as part of an organization called the San Francisco League of Urban Gardeners. And so that organization was a citywide organization. It ended up folding in the early 2000s. And Garden for the Environment was one of the last gardens started by this organization. So if you didn't notice what the abbreviation is or acronym, it's SLUG. So they turned a garden pest into a garden ally. So this organization, San Francisco League of Urban Gardeners, ended up folding amid some political controversy and whatnot. So they were forced to close, and a really dedicated group of volunteers kept Garden for the Environment going, and then they sought fiscal sponsorship. So they became a nonprofit, so it's an independent nonprofit now. We are currently fiscally sponsored by the San Francisco Parks Alliance, and we've had previous fiscal sponsors. So Garden for the Environment began, our grand opening celebration was 31 years ago on July 28th. So we were hoping to have a big 30th anniversary party last year. With COVID, of course, that didn't happen, but we're super excited to be serving the community for 31 years now.
Yeah, COVID sure real put a hold on everything, didn't it? I had actually intended to come visit Garden for the Environment for one of our features a couple of years ago before all of COVID and all of that sort of happened. So I was really kind of glad that we were kind of getting things back together to be able to do that this season, be able to come and check out this just really wonderful growing space here. This is just an amazing place. It's more than what I expected through the pictures and the website and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm really glad that we got the opportunity to come here and kind of take a look around and see what you have here growing in person. Now, one of the big things I know about here is that you guys are on a mission to kind of teach people about gardening and community gardening and all of that, right?
Absolutely. So we are San Francisco's teaching garden, and that is our aim. We do that both formally through various types of classes that we have. We have anything from 2-hour classes on Saturday mornings on anything from growing your own food to rainwater harvesting to beekeeping to bouquet making, a wide variety of classes that are one session, 2 hours. But then we also have series. So we have a series of classes on 3 Saturdays for 2 hours each, some that are 6 Saturdays in a row for 2 hours each. And our biggest program that we have is the Gardening and Composting Educator Training Program, and that's a mouthful. So we call it Get Up. And Get Up has been going, we are in our 25th year this year. And we did it for the first time ever, and maybe the last time ever, completely online this past spring, since we couldn't offer it last fall. But that's a hands-on program. We always say it's an inch deep and a mile wide in terms of the education. So our students are all adult learners. They learn a little bit about a lot of different things. So anything from, again, growing your own food to perennial plant pruning to propagation to soil health. They learn a wide swath, and the thing we're trying to accomplish is to get them a baseline education on gardening, but to also within that really start developing a passion for a certain part of gardening. And of course composting is a huge part of that too. So we trained them but we also train them to go out in the community and teach. So we ask those students to make a commitment to us the season after they take the class to teach a composting class here at the garden, and to also do 40 hours of community service. Part of it can be here, but we ask too that they go out to different organizations in the Bay Area to spread their knowledge and help strengthen the gardening community here.
That's just really wonderful. What a great project here in San Francisco, doing such a wonderful job in teaching, growing, gardening, and all of that here in the local community here around San Francisco. I just think that one of these projects are just a great model to be done in communities everywhere. So if you don't have one of these projects going on in your community, reach out to Garden and Environment. Maybe they'll help give you some pointers to get something started in your community as well. Trina, thank you so much for joining us here today on The Urban Gardener and showing us around this really great project.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And one last little thing I wanted to throw in that I wanted to mention earlier was that this garden can't exist without volunteers. And so we're training people informally, as you saw today. We have groups of volunteers to maintain this space because 3 staff people certainly can't maintain this roughly half to 3/4 of an acre space.
This is a pretty large space.
Yeah, so we always say it's not our garden. This garden belongs to the volunteers and everybody who comes here and uses it. So it's for the community.
Yeah, so if you are here in San Francisco as well, too, come on down and volunteer.
Absolutely.
Or if you're coming in and visiting and you're here in the Bay Area as well, this garden is open to the public all of the time. Just come on and stop by and walk through and check out this really great growing space. Again, thank you very much, Trina.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for visiting.
So all right, again, what a wonderful, wonderful place this is here. Garden for the Environment in San Francisco. Really awesome to be able to bring this feature to you guys today. I hope that you all really enjoyed. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything at all, please get down below in that comment section. I'd love to hear from all of you. And if you haven't, like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of our upcoming features and episodes here on The Urban Gardener. And I'll see all of you on our next one. Welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. Here on The Urban Gardener. In fact, today we're here. I totally messed that up. It's supposed to be, in fact, hit that bell notification. All right. All right. So here in the heart of San Francisco, teaching San Francisco. So all right, we are here. All right, okay. So all right, Trina, thank you so much for sitting down with us here for our little video tour of the. Oh gosh, I totally messed that up.